Hey guys, so today is going to be whatever part we're on of the Declutter series. Today, as you can see, we are going to be doing blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, and I have so many of this. This is the biggest of my entire collection, so I'm just going to jump right in and start to get rid of stuff because this is, oh my gosh, ridiculous. I'm going to start with this corner right here of my clear cube. I literally just took the drawers out of my clear cube. This is where I house all my bronzers, and then I do have the Lorac Contour Pro palette, which has contour, highlight, and bronzer in it, and I'm not going to get rid of this, so that's out of the question right there. But this is where the rest of my bronzers are that I'm going to go through first. This is going to be easy because I have a few bronzers that I really like and the rest of them I don't like, so it's going to be an easy process. What can I say? First things first, the Be Matte blush from City Color. This is in the color Toasted Coconut. I use this as a bronzer. Works really well for me. I love this and really couldn't see myself without it. I did want to see how it compares to the NYC Smooth Skin in Sunny. They're very similar. I would say, I don't know, I can't really tell. Maybe the City Color is just a touch more warm, or a touch warmer than the Sunny, but they're very, very similar. So if you have Sunny, you really don't need this, and if you have this, you really don't need Sunny, but I'm going to be keeping both of them because I like both of them. Some ones that I'm not going to be keeping, this one from Pop Beauty in Sunkissed Bronzer. I'm not a huge fan of this like glowy bronzer. I mean, this is like a ton of shimmer. If you're darker complected, this would be a beautiful highlight, but for my fair skin tone, light skin tone, it just does not work as a bronzer or a highlight. So that's going. This as well from CoverGirl. It's the True Magic, the Sun Kisser bronzer, and this was like a little deluxe that came with an I don't know, mascara or something. It's a cream bronzer, and I mean, I've swatched it, but I never have used it, and I don't plan on. This is Pixie by Petra Summertime Beauty Bronzer, and it also is very shimmery. I don't know if you guys can tell there. Again, really pretty highlight for a darker complexion, not from Moi. I have a mini Benefit Hoola, and I also have this Dip Potted in my blush palette, keeping that for sure. This one, however, from Physicians Formula, it's a bronze booster in light to medium. I don't know if I just got too dark of a shade or what, but I really don't care for this. I don't know if it's just the undertone. It's a really smooth, nice powder, but I don't find myself reaching for it, and the packaging is so bulky. I also have this one, the Super BB from Physicians Formula. That's like half shimmery bronzer and half blush. The blush is really pretty, but the bronzer is not that great, so I'm going to get rid of this. Also, the packaging is super bulky. I have blushes that I prefer, like this one, for instance, from e.l.f. It's the Healthy Glow Shimmer Powder. I don't know if you guys will be able to tell how much I've used of this. I think it's $1 or $2. What is it in a color? No, it doesn't have a color, but the bronzer is so pretty. Two bronzers left. They're both like mini deluxe samples. This is the Tarte Amazonia Clay Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and I think I'm going to get rid of this. This one I kind of like, but it is on the shimmerier side as well, so I think I'm just going to toss this one. This one from Too Faced, though, it's the Chocolate Soleil in medium deep. It's a matte bronzer, and I actually don't find that this is too dark for me. I can definitely make it work, and it's matte, so I am going to be keeping this one. Not bad on bronzers. I kept 5 and got rid of 6. Now for highlights. I keep my highlights 2 places, specifically right here, and then I have cream highlights back here. I do have some highlights that are kind of overflow that don't fit here that I will be pulling out as well from my other drawer, but mainly these right here. Before I do that, I actually have these 3 bronzers that I completely forgot about. This is the e.l.f. bronzer palette in Bronze Beauty, and this is that palette where it's like 4 of them that you can kind of interchange with blushes and foundations and stuff, and I am going to be keeping this whole thing. There's just one that I really don't use, which is this one right here. The rest of them are really great bronzer slash contour colors, so I am going to keep that one. This one as well, it's the contouring blush and bronzer powder, and this is in Fiji. So I did have this one before they gave them a name, but this is the matte version of it, and I am going to be keeping that because, again, this is a really pretty bronzer. And then this one is fairly new to my collection. It's the MAC Studio Baked Bronzer, and this I got from Marshall's, I think, and it's kind of like a Laura Geller bronzer, and it's actually super, super light. So I don't think I'm going to be keeping this because it's almost it's like not light enough to be a highlight, but it's not dark enough to be an all over bronzer. So actually, you know what, I may try and keep this and see if I can make it work. Okay, so now to my highlighters. So there is my highlight collection, like individual highlights. I do have some highlights that are within other palettes and stuff, but this is my individual collection. So first thing I know I'm keeping is my e.l.f. Golden Bronzer. I have put a huge divot in this. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's a beautiful, beautiful golden bronzer, and it's just, it's seriously the thing that I reach for the most when I'm wearing makeup and I don't know what to wear. I always gravitate towards this. So keeping that. This I know I'm getting rid of. It's the Physicians Formula Powder Mineral Glow Pearls and Translucent Pearl. The packaging is just so bulky with Physicians Formula. Like, this is literally all the product is, and the rest of it's just packaging. This really isn't the most amazing thing that I've ever tried. The powder is kind of chalky. It's kind of hard to get it off into your brush, and I just really don't care for it, so I'm going to pass that. This one as well, it's a little vintage crystal pink illuminating face highlighter. I think I got this in like an Ipsy bag or something. Going to pass that along. I feel like I use all of these, so it's like really difficult to even think about them. This is new. This is Champagne Pop from Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. Definitely not getting rid of that. These babies are not cheap. That's the one that Jaclyn Hill made. And then I have this one in Opal. Same thing. Not cheap product to be getting rid of. Two different colors though, for sure. So I'm keeping both of those. Here's where it starts to get tough, because I feel like all of these kind of run in together, but I don't need all of them. I don't need all of them. So I'm going to start swatching. Actually, I think I'm going to keep Mary Luminizer because it's a yellow gold and it's different than anything that I own. Like even Champagne Pop, it's just totally different. And when I want a crazy highlight, this is the one that I reach for. So I'm keeping that. The rest of these are kind of on the pink side, so I'm going to have a little swatch party and see which ones I want to keep. Okay, so here's all the highlighters that I have, and actually it's funny because this is Becca's Opal, and this is Soft and Gentle from MAC. Yeah, Soft and Gentle. Aren't those so similar? Like, it almost makes me wish I didn't own both of them, but I'm going to keep Soft and Gentle. And that way I can kind of decide over time which one that I want. And I'm also going to keep this e.l.f. Bake Highlighter in the color Blush. It's actually Blush Gems. It's a really pretty golden highlighter, and it's this one right here. And it actually looks very similar to Opal and Soft and Gentle as well. The one that I'm going to be getting rid of, however, is this Hard Candy Tiki Bronzer, which I really like this. It's this one right here. But you can see like the e.l.f. one is very similar, and I like the e.l.f. one a little bit better, so I'm going to get rid of that one. Cindy Luminizer is this one right here. I really just don't like that. I much prefer like a golden highlight. This is very pink. Like if you were super pale, you could use this as a blush. So I'm going to get rid of that one. This one right here is the e.l.f. Shimmer in just the color pink, and I like this one for a long time, but seeing it in comparison to my other highlighters, it's not something that I would gravitate towards anymore. And this one as well, it's the Mineralized Matte Skin Finish, and this was a limited edition collection. It's in the color Blonde, and I loved this one, so I'm kind of torn. It's this like pink shimmery color when you like swatch over all of them, but you can, and typically what I do is use the lighter colors for just a highlight, so I'm kind of torn. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of this or not. So far highlighters, I've gotten rid of 5 and kept 7. Okay, now to go through the cream highlighters. You guys know me, I have oily skin. I'm not a huge fan of cream highlighters, so I don't have too many. There are a few that I know right off the bat I'm going to get rid of. These I talked about in the Products I Regret Buying video. They're the Becca Shimmer Skin Perfectors in Opal, Pearl, and Champagne Gold. So I'm going to be getting rid of Champagne Gold and Pearl and keeping Opal. I have 2 of these What's Up. One's brand new. I haven't even used it. The other one, let me see. Have I used it at all? Nope, they're both like 100% brand new. So I'm going to keep one of them and give one of them. And then I'm also going to get rid of this Becca Opal sample. And this Benefit High Beam is like almost done. So I think I'm going to get rid of that too because it's all gross. I'm also going to get rid of this Jelly Pong Pong Liquid Gossamer. I got this in an Ipsy bag. I don't have any use for it because I have these products that I much more prefer. This is the e.l.f. All Over Color Stick in the color Lilac Pearl. And this is a really pretty like cream highlight without being too cream highlight. It's really pretty. And also I think it was like only $1 or $2. So I'm going to keep that. I'm also, let me see, I'm going to pick one of these. I don't know which one I want to keep. I actually prefer the consistency of the e.l.f. one, which is this one right here. It's a little thicker so it doesn't slip around your face as much, and I think it would set on top of foundation a little nicer than the NARS one. Is a lot more slippery and a lot more not as opaque. So I think I'm going to keep the e.l.f. and this is the Shimmering Facial Whip, and it doesn't have a color, but I believe, oh yes it does, it's in Lilac Pearl. So I'm going to keep that and get rid of this one. I'm running out of a swatching room, but these two are the Radiance Enhancers from e.l.f. This one is in the color Sunrise and Spotlight, and these are kind of cool because they're like twist up. There's the colors of them there. I'm actually going to get rid of Spotlight because when am I ever going to wear such a pearly white color? I really don't know. Plus it feels a little thick. The Sunrise one is beautiful and I definitely will keep that one. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the rest of this clear part of my clear cube before I go through the other part. And then a lot of this in here is like drugstore blushes, and then I have some of them are higher end in my other part of my clear cube, and then I have palettes I'm going to go through. So I'm going to go through this quite quickly. I may do some swatching off camera to see like if I have a lot of the same color to get rid of because I have a ton of blushes and I really need to weed down this collection. First up, cream blushes. I actually think I'm getting rid of the majority of these because I don't wear cream blushes anymore. This is an NYC Blushable Cream Stick in the color Big Apple Blush. I've had this forever and have not used it. It's going. I have this e.l.f. HD blush in the color Headliner. I love these when they first come out. They're beautiful colors, but I just do not have the patience nor the skin type for cream blush anymore. So those are going. Same thing with the Benetint. This is almost done. I was using this on my lips, but I have no desire to use the Posy Tint or Benetint from Benefit anymore. So see ya. Tarte's Flush Cheek Stain, same thing. It's a pretty, seems like what would be a pretty color, but I just don't wear cream products. I never ever gravitate towards them. I did an entire video on these Dream Bouncy blushes, and these are the only two colors I have left. This is Hot Tamale and Plum Wine, and I actually do reach for these sometimes. They are really pretty, but I kind of, I don't know, I kind of want to keep them. They are really pretty, like all over stains, and they're not true creams, so I probably will keep these. And this is a Maybelline Dream Mousse blush in the color 50, which is Cloud Wine, and it's a really pretty color as well. It definitely has like a different consistency, but you know, it feels kind of weird. Maybe I'll just toss that. Now for some of the blushes that were sitting right there, I have these from NYX, so I guess I'll go through these first. I have this one in, these are just the regular NYX blushes in Pinched. This is a really pretty color, but as you can see, I have not used it. It's kind of comparable to like a NARS Orgasm. It has that like golden sheen. So I'm going to set this aside and do a little bit of comparison and see if I really want to keep that. This is the new HD blush in Electro. Okay, really, you guys, like, it's beautiful. When am I going to wear that? I guess you could like really sheer it out, but I probably wouldn't. So that's going to go. Mocha and Angel from NYX are some of my favorite blushes. They're both like really great, just everyday blushes. This is a good fall one, and then Angel is just a really great everyday. You can see how much I've worn this blush. It's really, really pretty, so I'm keeping both of those. I have two blushes from Milani, and they're baked blushes. This is in Bella Rosa, and I love this blush. I think the packaging is kind of annoying. It's a little bulky for what it is, but this is a really pretty, like, flush on your cheeks type of color. This one is in Delicioso Pink, and this is a little too blue toned for me. I don't wear blue tone blushes like that anymore, so this is gonna go. This is a Maybelline Fit Me blush in Medium Coral. I think I got this from my friend Stephanie, and to be honest, this does not suit my skin tone very nicely at all, so this is gonna go. I have three of the mineral pressed mineral blushes from e.l.f. This is in Sweet Retreat, Jet Setter, and then this one is Wanderlust, and these are all really pretty. But I'm thinking I only need, God, they're so soft and so pigmented. I hate to even get rid of them. I'm going to get rid of this one, which is in Sweet Retreat. It's just a little on the light side, and I prefer darker blushes. This is a favorite from Bobbi Brown. It's in Desert Rose. Really pretty, very, very soft, like neutral plum color. I really like that, so I'm for sure keeping that one. Then I have these two in-stain blushes from The Balm. This one is in Houndstooth, and I have tried to make these work so many times, you guys. I just don't know if I'm not doing them right. They're super dry and very, very dry to the touch, but they're really pretty. I just don't know why I can't make them work. This one is in Pinstripe, and again, a really pretty color. I have a ton of blushes similar to Houndstooth here, so I'm going to pass on this one. This one is very unique. I don't have anything super similar, so I'm going to keep Pinstripe. NARS Deep Throat is an all-time favorite. I really like this one. It's kind of dry to the touch too, but I can't bear to part with this in my collection. It's just so pretty. And the last blush I had from that little area is this Hello Kitty blush it just says blush, that a subscriber sent to me. Super, super soft and very pigmented. I do have colors like that, but I'm keeping it more like nostalgia reasons because one of you guys sent it to me and I think it's cute. Okay, so here is my other drawer of blushes. It is a nightmare that I can't fit all of my blushes into one drawer, and I still don't think I'll be able to even when I'm done, but at least I will have condensed it quite a bit. So let's just dive right in. The first thing I know I'm getting rid of, I talked about in my products I regret buying video, which is this Bobbi Brown shimmer brick, and it's in the color Lilac Rose. It's super bulky. I just don't care for the product nor the packaging. It's just not that great, so I'm going to be getting rid of that. Next are these ColourPop blushes. These are fairly new to me. I got these in some collection. I forget what it's called, but these are the Super Shock Cheek, and this one is in the color Hysterical. I really haven't had a chance to play around with these. This color is right up my alley though, so I will be keeping that. This is in Double Dip. This is supposed to be a highlight. I don't know truly how I feel about this. It's kind of like a very light highlight. I actually think I'm going to get rid of this one. I don't see myself using it. And then this last one is in Tongue Tied, which is a really pretty coral, but again, these like corally colors, I just don't look the greatest on me, but I don't know, maybe I'll keep it and try it during summer and then get rid of it if I don't use it. I have 3 of these City Color B Matte blushes, and I'm only going to keep one of them, and it's this one in Blackberry. This is the only color that truly works with my skin tone, and I actually have a ton of this color, so I'll probably try and see which one I gravitate towards most and go from there. This is awful. Fresh Melon. I really don't care for this color. It's like super chalky and light, way too light for me. And then this one is Dragon Fruit, which is again too blue toned. They're super soft and really pigmented, but too blue toned for my complexion. I just don't care for it. I have 2 more blushes that I know I'm going to be getting rid of. This is the Maybelline Master Highlight in the color Pink Rose. I think I got this from Stephanie, and in theory it's a really pretty blush. It's just, again, I'm not that fond of these like light pinky shimmery colors anymore, so that's definitely going to go. And this is along the same lines. This is the Physicians Formula Happy Booster Blush in Rose, and it's really pretty. I've barely used it. It just is not, again, same thing. Like, look at that. Barely any pigmentation. I guess you could use it as a highlight, but just not something I'm looking to use. Okay, so let's talk about a few things that I know I'm keeping. This is Clinique's Heather Pop, which is a cheek pop blush from their line, and this is fairly new. As you can tell, I love this like heathery type rose color. Really pretty plummy purple. Definitely keeping that one, and I'm definitely keeping this Hervana, which is in, I don't know if this is older packaging or what, but this is from Benefit, and this is probably the most blue toned I would go, and you can't even really see it, but when you put it on your cheek, it definitely is like a cool tone blush, but I really like it and am keeping it for sure. I'm kind of tossed up about this one. This one is the Balm's Cabana Boy, and again, I have so many of this like purpley color. I'm trying to narrow down what I have. So this one is the B Matte City Blush, and this one is the Bobbi Brown blush, and they're freaking identical. So I almost hate to keep both of them, but this one's $3 and the Bobbi Brown blush is really expensive. So I may just keep them for comparison purposes, but to be honest, that's Cabana Boy. I do have the Clinique Cheek Pop, which is new to me. That's very, very similar in color, so I think I am going to get rid of this. I already weeded down these pretty good. These are the Coastal Scents Forever blushes, but I am going to go through them really quickly. You can tell I have 5 very bright colors, and just off the bat, I bet you this one looks super similar to ones that I already have. Yeah, you can see there, those are like all in the same family. So between this one, the Be Matte blush, and the Bobbi Brown, I think I'm going to get rid of. I'm actually going to get rid of the City Color, and I'm going to keep the Coastal Scents because I really like the Coastal Scents. Okay, now these 4. This is, oh, and I forgot to mention this one is in Charming. I really like that one. This is in Beautiful, and this is a little bit darker. Yeah, I don't really have anything else, so I'm going to keep that one. This one is in Romantic, which is, again, a little darker. Actually, you know what? These 2 blushes that I just swatched from e.l.f. are very similar to both of these, so I'm actually going to get rid of both of these Coastal Scents blushes. And then the last 2 Coastal Scents blushes, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything like it. This berry color, yeah, I'm pretty positive I don't have anything like that. And that one is in Passionate, and then this one here is in Royal, and I'm pretty sure I don't have anything like that either. Really pretty though. Okay, so keeping both of those. I have a couple of samples I'm going to go ahead and get rid of. I have enough, I don't need the samples. I have this one from MAC Studio in the color, just says Big Blush. This was from the same place that the bronzer was from, TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and this is like a swirly blush, and it's really pretty, but I want to compare it to like NARS Orgasm, see if it's similar. And then I have 3 more single blushes, which is, they're all the Milani powder blushes, and this one is in Awakening Rose, this one is in American Beauty Rose, and then this one is in Blossom Time Rose. So did I even open these? Oh my gosh, 2 of them aren't even open. That tells you something because I've had these for months. Okay, so there is a bunch of swatches of ones that are very similar. So this is NARS Orgasm. This is the NYX blush in Pinched. This one is the MAC Studio blush. This one is this Milani blush in Blossom Time Rose. So I'm actually going to keep the NYX blush, get rid of the MAC Studio, and I am going to keep these 3 Milani blushes just to see if I end up using them more. Since I haven't used them, I kind of would like to make, I don't know, to see, because these are the 3 colors of them there. They're really pretty, look similar to what I have, but I think I would use them now that I am kind of clearing out my collection. Okay, so now on to palettes. I have all these palettes here, and there's some of them that I already know, like right off the bat, I'm not getting rid of. So this NARS Stephen Klein one is really new, so I'm keeping this one for sure. I'm also keeping the NARS Danmari palette. This is where I have the only pink blue tone blush that I really would wear, plus some of my other favorites, so I'm definitely keeping this one as well. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. So this Park Avenue Princess one from Tarte, I really haven't dived into it that much. I'm sorry, I know it's like glaring. It has the matte version of the Park Avenue Princess, which is a little on the orange side for me, so I don't know that I would use it. It does have this really pretty blush in there and highlight, so this would be a great travel companion. I just don't know that I would really use these products. I got this from Stephanie, but I honestly think I'm going to pass this along. And then I talked about this in my most recent products I regret buying as well. I wish I had just bought Mood Exposure. This is the Hourglass, what is it actually called? Ambient Lighting Blush Palette. I wish I had just bought this one, but I did buy this and it came with the other one, so I'm not going to get rid of this. Maybe at some point I would consider selling it, but not right now. I'm going to try and make it work as best I can. The last mini blush palette I have is from e.l.f. and this is in the dark version. I had the light version, but it busted all over the place. So these colors actually could be similar to these colors that I have from Coastal Scent. So I'm going to swatch them and see. Okay, so these 4 colors from here to here are from the e.l.f. palette. This is this one, which is Passionate, and this is Royal from Coastal Scents. So as you can see, these two colors really match and these two colors really match, which works out great. I'd rather keep the e.l.f. palette that has other colors that I like in it and get rid of these two blushes right here. Okay, lastly, I have my Z palettes, and to be honest, I don't know that I'm going to get rid of anything in these Z palettes just because it'll do me no good. I'm going to have, even if I get rid of one blush out of it, I'm still going to have the Z palette. So this color actually, I think it's Glisten. This probably is very similar. Ah, look at that. That's very similar to the NYX blush up there. So I think I'm going to get rid of this, nope, not this one. This NYX blush in the color Pinch then, since I have this one that is not really going to go anywhere. And then I have, this is my one and only little highlight from e.l.f. that I have, the $3 packaging that I had depotted a long time ago. I have a little Hoola bronzer in here and some mini Tarte blushes, but this is mostly my Tarte blushes in here, another blue tone pink that I really like. This one is in Amused, and then my favorite, probably all-time favorite blush, which is Exposed. Very nice, just like all over, neutral type color every day. So I'm probably going to keep all of that. And then this is from last year's holiday palette. I depotted the Benefit like holiday set that had all the box blushes, and as you can see, I really haven't used them too much, but the only one that's not in here is the Hervana. So I'm keeping the boxed Hervana, and then I have every other box blush in here, plus a little Rimmel blush that's like a good everyday neutral. And then the last Z palette that I have are all of my mineralized products that I depotted a long time ago, and honestly I regret depotting them. This is MAC's Petticoat, this is MAC's Porcelain Pink, and this one is MAC's Semi-Precious Rose Quartz. I could have sold these, but instead I depotted them, and I really have no use for depotted products anymore, so it is what it is. Okay, I've actually been having a little bit more of a swatch party here on my arm, and I took out the blushes from this Z palette and I put them in my mineralized palette. I'm actually going to get rid of, these were e.l.f. blushes and a hard candy blush that I really just don't reach for. They're a little too shimmery for my taste, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. And I'm also going to get rid of this one from MAC, which is Porcelain Pink. It was a mineralized skin finish, but honestly it has like zero payoff when it comes to, it's really nice shimmery, nice and shimmery, but now that I'm swatching it even more, it looks even prettier. I never reach for it, and it really doesn't have enough pigmentation for me, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm also going to be getting rid of this Rimmel blush. It's a lasting finish in Santa Rose. I used it a lot when I first got it, so that's why I wanted to keep it, but I'm just going to get rid of it, and then that way I can put all of these blushes in here. And this is MAC's Mineralized Blush in Dainty, and that'll fit right there. And then that way I have kind of combined them into one, and that's a good way for me to combine. Now I have a whole empty Z palette. Alright, let me reorganize and I will show you guys how I did. Okay, so I know it looks like I'm keeping way more than I'm getting rid of, but I'm not. Like, this thing is so unorganized. It is just full to the brim with stuff that I'm getting rid of. And this is extremely organized. I could not fit all my bronzers in this space before, now they're there. I could not fit all of my highlights in this space, now they're there. I have like drugstore blushes here, and then I only have 4 blushes in this one here, and then the only thing I have here are these 3 Milani blushes that they don't really fit in this area, and then these are 2 palettes, and that's it. So once I take these 2 palettes and put them with the palettes where they belong, I have an entire, and these 3 here, I have 2 entire things open in the back, whereas my blush collection before, like, this is going, all this is going either to friends, family, trash, whatever, and then I have an entire drawer that was taking up my blush collection, now completely empty, which is amazing. So that is the end of my blush declutter. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm super proud of myself for just purging and getting rid of everything. It feels so good. Check out my blog sale. I will have the link down below. I may have a couple of these higher end products up on the blog sale if you guys are interested in them. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!